Hey, how you doing?
Good, how's it going?
Jerry?
Yeah.
Will Morgan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I met your son at the football game the other day, the alumni tailgate and everything, and he was telling me a little bit about it. You mind if I take a seat?
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it. Really thank you for taking time to kind of meet with me and everything. And I know that being president of the company and everything, your time's super valuable.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it. I don't know if Brock really told you anything about me, but I've been with NetSuite for a couple of years now, actually going into my third, and have several clients ranging from different areas and everything, just kind of a little bit about myself. But really just kind of wanted to meet with you and talk a little bit about your company and everything, ask you a couple of questions. If you don't mind, before we kind of get started, go over kind of just a list of things that I kind of want to touch on.
That sounds awesome.
So starting out, kind of establish this agenda and everything, and then would really kind of want to dive down into what you're using now and kind of like what maybe problems y'all have, what you really like about it.
Okay.
Find out about what your company's like and how we can best benefit you. And then, maybe kind of go into what NetSuite is and maybe how that can fit some needs better than what you're currently using. And then, would kind of like to take you through a run-through of our software and everything and really show you how that is and what all we can do for you. Do you mind if I take notes or
No, yeah, of course, please do.
Appreciate that. So just to kind of start out, know a little bit about me now, like to kind of know, I know a little bit about your company, but would love to learn a little bit more. Like, what are y'all currently using right now? Like, what do you enjoy about your service?
Right now, our software, it's really great. It's really user friendly. They do a good job. The only problem is we have too many companies doing a good job. We have a lot of different things that we have to use, a lot of different softwares, and it's taking up a lot of time. For example, like they do all these training sessions and they send me all these emails and it's from all these different companies. So it's like I have to deal with all these different reps from different places. Yeah. So it's very time consuming. So that's been one thing. Another thing I've liked about it is they do a great job doing their thing. Like our CRM, it's great. Like it really lets us show like where their customers are, and it lets us contact them. And then with our sales stuff, they give us a lot of good numbers, but I definitely think there's room for improvement there.
Yeah, so that was kind of touches on a little bit of my next question. Like, what kind of issues are you really having with the software? You talked a little bit about it. You have multiple softwares, it's kind of split up. What kind of issues is that presenting for y'all and everything?
I think it's been an organization issue. It's been a lack of efficiency. It's really affected us. I think it's been a waste of money too. We spend a lot of time every week we have one employee who spends 6 to 8 hours a week just doing organization methods and stuff like that. Also, a big thing for me is being the president is I'm not out there doing all this stuff. I'm not looking at everything every day. So it's been a lot of problem with people coming to me and having to tell me everything, whereas I can't just see it all in one place. Yeah. So that's been a big problem for us as well.
Interesting. So what I'm kind of gathering is like not everything's centralized, and that's probably obviously costing one employee some time. Is there anything else that maybe that you're having problems with, or any kind of issues that maybe that lack of centralization is causing?
Yes, I think the lack of centralization has just costed us so much time. And then not only that, it's been the lack of centralized has created like a lack of information. Our information isn't as good as it should be now because just these programs, when they're not all synced up together, it's really hard to have the perfect information that you want. So
one thing that kind of Brock and I were talking about when we were getting into the business portion a little bit is that y'all have been skyrocketing, booming, but kind of that your sales projection is you're still growing, but that growth is at a lesser rate.
Yes.
Do you think that maybe this software that you're currently using could be a part of that, and maybe have any effect at all?
I think so. I think it's holding us back. We were a smaller company, and this software works great. It did our needs. It was cheap, and so it was fine then. But now that we've grown, we've kind of hit a brick wall, and now our growth is decreasing because of it. And I think it is a big part of it. We don't have our employees synced up together. We're not all on the same page. So that's really affected us.
Interesting. So, we've talked a little bit about kind of the problems that you've had with it, and appreciate you discussing that with me. From the issues that you've really talked about, do you think that maybe there could be room? There's definitely room for improvement.
I would definitely say so. I think that's why I was so excited to have this meeting, is because there is room for improvement, and I'm looking for a software that can help solve our problems and help us to grow further.
Yeah. Before we kind of get into that, is that I kind of would like to know a little bit of the numbers. What do you kind of think that you're currently losing / what kind of give me some numbers of like where your costs are and what you kind of think you're losing per week or maybe or so, like with the software that you currently have.
I think with the current software, all these labor hours that it takes us, it's been a huge cost. It's almost like the person who does this is on salary, so it's almost $50,000 a week, which really adds up. And then just the loss of growth is what, as a president, really is your big concern, because those 1 to 2% loss of growth, that's tens of millions of dollars. So that's something that we definitely want to clear up, and we want to have the best efficiency as possible to allow us to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like right now, sounds like you've got a great company. Obviously, a lot of growth, and you have the software over here, maybe not so much organized. Is that causing you, like, that's not only causing you headaches, is that causing your employees headaches? Are they talking to you about it at all? Or?
It's a company-wide thing.
Okay.
It takes a lot out of all of us, because not only does this salesperson, who's an advanced salesperson, they've worked for us for years, do they have to do minimal organizational tasks. That's a headache for them, but then they also have to come talk to me all the time about it, and they have to show me, and they have to do these presentations for me, whereas like there should be a way that I can just see it all in one place. So.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that. Do you mind if I come over there and maybe show you?
Yeah, of course.
Just sit right here and kind of show you a little bit of what NetSuite has to offer. So
yeah, I'd love to see it.
I've been working on with this company for a couple of years. I just absolutely love the way the software is set up. I'd love to show you. So what you're talking about is that not everything's really centralized. Right here, starting out, I'm logged in. The home page. You have financial statements, income statement, balance sheet, trial balance, cash flows, everything right there.
Okay.
Revenue. Talk about like where your revenue is coming from. Revenue by customer. Revenue. Your son talked a little bit about y'all moved into a couple different states.
Yeah.
Revenue by state.
Okay.
Maybe check it out. Everything. Revenue by the different items that you're selling. So everything's right here. You can go in and literally trace where your money's coming from in one centralized location. You even have all your accounts payable and everything right here, what your inventory is, different asset types, and how sales tax, everything is literally on this page. But then also kind of what you're talking about, what you mentioned earlier, is that you have different people using different things. That just kind of boggles my mind that would be out there right now. Right now, let's go to the customer page. This is like you have multiple departments of sales, so you can have everything right here. Who the sales rep is, the billing company that you're everything is right here.
Okay, yeah.
That you need to be able to kind of go through everything. So I think this really hits on a lot of what you were saying, if you don't mind me leaving my notes. So, like, there's no centralization. We talked about that. No sync. It's hurting your employees. But I think that this right here just kind of shows, like, everything that you need is right here.
Yeah, I really like how you can see who the sales rep is for each customer and how that's all right after you look at all the financial stuff, and it's all right there.
Yeah, so check out Talkspeed of Financial. This is everything we have today, this week, this month, last month, the whole quarter, the whole year to date, the fiscal year to date, and last fiscal year to date. So we're talking about a little bit of how your sales growth is declining. Well, we're going to be able to see that within this.
Okay.
And you can really see where everything's coming from, the average price per invoice. Like, if that's going down, like, why is that going down? Maybe number of invoices is going down or it's going up. Why is that? Just like this demonstration right here, we went from 86 to 31 this month. You know, kind of dig deeper into that. You can actually click on these different numbers and see where things came from. This is the different sales orders, so you can see what the different sales order of this month. If I want to go and check out last month's sales revenue, I can go and see where that came from.
Yeah, because that's really been a problem for us, was the limited information access. We had these numbers, but we didn't really know where they were coming from. Not like that. That shows you in detail exactly where they got that number from. So
yeah, maybe if you want to kind of scroll through the site a little bit and kind of check everything out, maybe click on a different number. You can see kind of like where it takes you. It's easy to navigate. That's what I really love about this program, is that bam, where did this come from? I just click on it. It's not, complicated really at all. Me and your son are a little bit younger, a little bit better with technology, but this, you've got some older salespeople, like, they will be able to use this. It'll be easy to use, easy to teach them. And, just like you were talking about how everything is not centralized, I think that this really fixes that key problem.
Looking at this now, it's awesome how I can just go from seeing all my customer reports, then going straight to all my financial information.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then even the payroll and HR, like, that's great just to have all here, all for me to see. I know my worst thing about the other software was just not being able to see this stuff and people telling me. So being able for me to go in, look at it myself and see all of it is really interesting.
Yeah, and how many employees do you have?
We currently have 26.
26 employees? Yeah, so I mean every employee can be on here and be like, okay, they have a good pay or whatever, or like everything is on here. It really, I think it's a perfect software for a company your size. You're growing, you're much bigger than what you were. You're not a 200 employee company, so you're not going to have to scroll through 200 employees, but this matches you, and this is going to be able to match your growth for a while to come too.
Exactly.
If you get huge, we'll talk about later options down the road and like what you can grow into then. But I think from where you are now to where you plan to be, this is a long-term option for you, not something that's really just going to be here and then, oh wow, now we have 100 employees. This demonstration that we have, there's 94 on here. We still think that this really fits them very well. And, going from 26 to 94, that's going to take a little bit of time, but obviously you can stick with this same software throughout that time period. Do you kind of have any questions or anything about, maybe NetSuite in general, or, any other concerns?
I think you showed me a lot here. My biggest concerns were just the centralized, which I could see here. And then my other concern was the lack of data that we had. But when you showed me that you can click on those numbers and see where those come from, that's great too.
Yeah, as long as things are being input by your salespeople, everything that's going to be input, you're going to be able to see on here and be able to find out where it came from. If someone put in, like this expense report or this sales, like, oh, where did that sale come from? Oh, well, Jimmy made that sale last week. I see that now. And that's why our sales revenue was up a little bit more this, because that was a kind of specific sale. So you're going to be able to see where everything came from.
Okay, yeah. It looks great.
Yeah, well, if there's no other real questions, I guess, I would love to kind of talk about moving forward. But before we do that, I know that your son kind of expressed that maybe you have some objections about different things. Maybe we can talk through that a little bit.
Some of the objections I've had is just the cost to it.
Okay.
I know these programs are not cheap. That's kind of why we've stayed with our old ones and we haven't advanced. So price is always an objection for me. And then you've showed me a lot of the objections I had as far as the centralized data and the lack of data. So.
Well, do you mind if I run a couple numbers real quick?
Yeah, of course.
So, what we were kind of talking about, you mentioned earlier that it was, $50,000 a week that you kind of estimated.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at this as an economic cost benefit analysis,
Mm-hmm.
we've got $50,000 a week. That's really hurting me right now. I really believe that this software will be able to completely eliminate that.
Mm-hmm.
That's $50,000 a week, $200,000.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
That's a tremendous amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Right now that's on the cost side, but what if we move that over to the benefit side, and then $200,000 a month that you're gaining back, that you're not worried about losing? Well, our software is much cheaper compared to the $50,000 per week, and then $200,000 a month. I mean, we're $100,000 for our software.
Mm-hmm.
That's half of what you're losing in 1 month.
Okay, yeah.
When you stretch that out, what you're saving a year,
Yeah, that's a big savings.
that's a huge amount of savings.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, it costs $100,000,
Mm-hmm.
but right now you're losing $200,000 every month. So, really, I think that yes, it's expensive, but I promise you, we're going to be there for you if you need anything. I know you talked about there had been a little too much training
Mm-hmm.
by other reps and everything. I'm there for you on a need basis. I'm not going to push anything down your throat or anything like that.
Okay, yeah.
You have a problem, give me a call. I'll run over. I can talk to someone individually. We can do a group sales training or anything. Do you have any other concerns maybe about this? Based on
No,
that?
I think I would just like to have a general training session before we go ahead and do the sales.
Yeah, absolutely. How does maybe November 4th work for you?
Yeah, that works great. That gives me time to get all my employees together.
Yeah.
I guess I know in previous times we just get everyone together and you give us a training session so everyone can see how to do it at once.
Yeah.
And we can all get on the same page.
Absolutely. I'd love to walk y'all through it and kind of show you what everything can be done. And, this isn't about just getting you on board. This is about getting the whole company on board. And, that's what I'm here for, is to help all y'all perform better at y'all's jobs and to make more money at the end of the day.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I really appreciate it. And if November 4th works for you, then
Yeah, that works
it works
great.
for me.
I look forward to seeing
Appreciate
you then.
you. Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
18, perfect.